Hi, I'm Plush and Much. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to start off by saying that this is going to be a series that I'm going to do, and so each jewelry category is going to be featured once a month. So right now we're going to do some necklaces, then we're going to bracelets, earrings, and brooches, and just rotate them so that once a month we can go over what's selling, what's hot, what's maybe not selling that was before, and kind of just keep in the loop on what we need to be looking for as far as name brands, pricing, because pricing does change, and hopefully that'll be something we can do once a week on a different category. I also host a jewelry call on the Reseller Nirvana podcast with Tech and Sports and Chris. Lynn, I completely encourage people to go check that out to join our group. Not even just for the jewelry. They provide so much information. You can find me as Plush and Much on eBay and Facebook, and I'm also at plushandmuch@gmail.com is my email address. So look me up. Here we go. I wanted to start by saying that I only feature costume jewelry in the US, and so no fine jewelry. And we're going to try to look towards this mid level here. This will be the high end of what I'm going to show, is what's on the screen right now. So we're going to focus between the $100 and $300 sales. Um, Kat, the Nurse Flipper, does an amazing job doing great videos on the really high end things. I suggest you go check that out if you would like to see the really higher end items. Me, I want to focus more on things that you or I might find at Goodwill. We might get them in a Goodwill box. We can maybe find them on eBay to flip. Just more common sales that we may be able to focus on, and some names that we need to look for in this kind of price range. So we're going to start with this Kirk's Folly. Look at that. I imagine if any of us saw this at the store, we would know that this was special and we would pick it up without even knowing it was Kirk's Folly. It's just a gorgeous piece, nice colors, and Kirk's Folly, of course, does always sell well. This is what I would say is on the higher end of what we could find these for, but I think it's the subject matter and the cool factor. It's a neat piece. This is a Crown Trifari. Sorry, it does that. Crown Trifari signed piece, blue AB stones. I've noticed lately that blue is really popular. So even if this wasn't Crown Trifari, this probably would have well over $100 set, I would guess. So this is a nice piece. Trifari is really hot. We're going to focus a little bit more on Trifari later, and I'll probably do a deep dive on Trifari at some point. Another Trifari piece. This is a statement for sure. I haven't ever seen one of these particular pieces. It's a nice statement. It's a runway would be a good keyword. Real prominent, and of course it's Trifari, so keep your eye out for that. Here's an Alexis Bitar piece. Always a good name to watch out for. It has some pricing, all over the place, but it's usually on the higher end of normal. This one's really nice and chunky. Chunky's in right now. It's a statement type of necklace. Those pieces are really, really doing well right now. So look out for that name for sure. Julie Voss is one that I had not known previously. I sold a turtle necklace that was a Julie Voss, and I was totally shocked because I'd never heard of that designer before. So I wanted to feature one of her items. $299, the best offer was accepted, but still, it that's a good price. That's a nice necklace to have on your sales for the day. So there's the back marking. This one I wanted to feature because we get this brand a lot, but do we know that some of them can be on the higher end of, it was $295 with the best offer. That's that's a real strong price. Was it because of the name, or was it because of the cool factor again? It's neat. It's different. It's got starfish and shells. But just goes to show we need to be looking up things and comping things, even if we're not overly sure that that name would usually bring that kind of money. There's a fabulous Swarovski rainbow hued necklace. Look at that thing. It's screaming color, saying look at me. Again, it's more of a statement piece, which those are commanding good prices right now. Beautiful colors. I bet in person it sparkles, sparkles. $300, great price. Here's a Betsey Johnson. I will say that I came across a lot of Betsey Johnson when I was looking these up, which kind of surprised me a little bit, I guess. But again, where else do you find a big piece of pizza to wear around your neck? So this is definitely cool factors with her. And not all Betsey Johnsons are going to be worth this much, but when they're really loud and they have a statement, I would look them up. Here is a Trifari again. This one, I would say that if it would have gone on auction, would have brought a lot more money. That's my opinion. It does say it's missing a few of the clear rhinestones, but I still think that if we would have popped that up for an auction, it would have commanded a higher price. 135 is good, but I think it would have done better. Next we have a poodle. This one just definitely had some unique factor. You just don't see these huge poodles very often. I wouldn't say very neat, very cool. I would have put the word dog in the title, maybe. People love their animals. This is a very, very cool piece. Doesn't need the name brand to back it up because it's just cool. Here's an unsigned Les Bernard. I've found that I've several pieces from Les Bernard that isn't signed either, but it stands on its own. It's a runway piece. It's loud and it's unique, and nobody else is going to have that necklace on wherever you go. So at 145, that was a pretty good price. Again, I may have put this one up for auction because it's pretty cool. Anytime that we see something that's unique that you can't find in comps and solds, or you can't find another one like it on eBay, I throw it up for auction because I want to let the buyers decide how much my piece is worth. Here's the Anne Klein Lion's Head. I do comp Anne Klein when I get her pieces anymore because I have found that some of their pieces are going very well lately. So I would look up Anne Klein pieces, $127. It's a solid sale. MMA is also very popular. I get a lot of brooches from MMA, so I would also comp these pieces. I also probably would have put this one up for auction. It's chunky. It's got a good name. It's well made. I would have probably put this one up for auction. Next, we have another Betsey Johnson. Look at that. Of course, it's Halloween. If you have any Halloween stuff laying around, guys, got to get it up. Fall, any of your brown, earth tone, muddy colored brooches, necklaces, bracelets, anything like that, get it up. Keyword it autumn, fall, Halloween. Now's the time. So any of your leaf brooches that you have laying around that maybe look really plain, not exciting, right now, keyword them, get them up. It's a pretty cool Halloween statement necklace. Again, solid price. So here's a Heidi Daus. We'll see a lot of her in this price range. If it's unique or pretty, her stuff's really blingy a lot of times, you need to look them up. See if you have a rare one, see what they're bringing. I see it was really marked down from $249 to $124. It probably would have done pretty well on auction. This is probably more around a $200 piece, in my opinion. J. Crew is one that really kind of shocked me as I was doing the research for this video. It's, I guess I just never really thought about J. Crew in the $100 to $200, $300 range, but there were quite a few pieces out there. So look them up. Make sure you're paying attention to if you have a J. Crew that really shows a statement. Pay attention and go comp it. Hollycraft is a brand that I think we all know. Very nice. piece. The colors are going to sell this. The chunkiness is going to sell this, but the brand name sure doesn't hurt. This one kind of surprised me a little bit. I don't know that I've ever had a Stella and Dot piece that went for this amount, but wow, it's a piece. I mean, look at everything this has got going on. It's layered, it's loud, it's definitely a big collar piece. For sure would use the word runway. And even with a misspelling in the title, it sold for a great price. So, if you have a common name, but you have a piece that screams uncommon, please look it up because you might be missing out. I put this one up here because we all know that Whiting and Davis is a good name brand, solid prices, but I've been seeing some of these necklace or belt pieces that can be either, and they seem to be gaining some popularity right now. So I would definitely look those up. I would use the word convertible. It's a convertible piece. Some snakes. Snakes are always good. If I see a piece with snakes, I'll look it up. Here's another Heidi Daus. See her a lot in this price range. Chunky. It's loud. It's got some beautiful purple colors. People like purples and blues. I might have put this one up on auction too. Here's a Kate Spade. It's got her cherry statement necklaces. Very neat. I think if any of us saw this, we'd probably know that we needed to look it up. Kate Spade's a good brand to look out for, but the louder pieces, the ones that speak more to people and are unique, those are the ones that are gonna command the higher prices. Here we have a Monet. Again, I wanted to feature this one because do we always look up Monet if we get a Monet? I know that I probably don't as much as I should. This one I probably would have. It's definitely a statement piece. It's one I have not seen before. So even though it's a common name, make sure you're looking them up if there's something unique about them. And it only takes a minute to do a quick Google Lens. So let's be Google Lensing anything that we're not sure of. Here's a Lawrence Verba, really cool vintage piece. I really like vintage. I sell a lot of vintage. It's probably what I specialize in. This name has become familiar to me because of someone in the jewelry group has sold some very cool Lawrence Verba earrings recently that were very much statement items. So $300. Watch out for that name. Let's look at this one. Heidi Daus again. Basically, if you find anything with her name on it, I would comp it if you're not sure, but especially these big bibs. The bibs are in, chunky's in. Don't see dragonflies on a featured on necklace that often. Here's a Kenneth J. Lane, a common name. We run across it a lot. Do we run across the ones that are $250 all the time? They took an offer, but it was still probably a pretty solid amount. So again, this isn't real, what I would call real unique. There's only 3 pictures in the listing, but it still brought a good price. So that's just knowing your product, knowing what the worth is. Let's look here. This is another vintage piece, and it's vintage J. Crew. To me, this isn't a real unique J. Crew piece. So is J. Crew just going up in value that much right now? I've been seeing a lot of J. Crew sell. It seems like the comps are going up. So keep your eye out on J. Crew. $200. I'd be happy with a $200 sale on a J. Crew necklace. Kendra Scott, I think we know. Watch out for Kendra Scott. Good prices all day long, solid bread, a little higher than bread and butter maybe, but this is a pretty neat, unique one. I haven't seen this set before. $230. They sold it new without tags. Here's another Kendra Scott while we're in the neighborhood. This one didn't seem as loud, prominent, exciting to me, but it still brought $250. And that was not the best offer. So let's look at another Trifari piece. Anytime you have a Alfred Felipe piece, you've got some money. $290 for the set. It's glass and poured leaves. Again, if you have leaves, let's get them out there. This I would actually say were flowers. But it says water lily, but you could keyword it both ways. $290 on that one. Another Crown Trifari set. This one is a little bit more ornate. It speaks to you a little bit more. But if it doesn't have any missing stones and the metal's in good condition, you're talking about almost $300. Trifari is here right now. West Germany has also been holding some good prices. This one, the blue probably helped it out too. It's very ornate, it's well done, well made, and $180 with best offer accepted. I think any of us would love to take that. In Western Germany items are things we can find on our own. Here's another Western Germany piece. It's not blue, but it is still well made. It's not as big and fancy, so a little lower price at $119, but I would still be happy with that. Here's another Crown Trifari molded blue glass. Blue's in. Get the eye for looking for the blue. They're molded pieces, which makes them a little bit more unique. $289.95. Great sale. Let's look at one more Crown Trifari. This one's a little different. It's yellow and orange. I would have thrown some words in like autumn, fall, anything that's yellow, orange, browns. Let's be putting some fall. This one didn't need that help. $282.70. Great sale. Again, there of course are sales in the very higher departments of thousands of dollars and $700, $800, $900. I'm just concentrating on the bread and butter, or a little bit above our bread and butter, sale that just might make our day, those kind of sales. Here's another Anne Klein. If you find the Anne Klein with the lion head on it, especially if it's a big chunky chain and it's in good shape, make sure you're comping these. $279. And we can find those Anne Kleins. They're out there. They're easy to come across an Anne Klein. It's not something that's real rare. Here's a very cool Betsey Johnson skull. If you had one of these sitting around and couldn't sell it, throw that word Halloween on there. Somebody might love to rock that for a Halloween party. $169.99. Here's our last Betsey Johnson we're going to look at. It's got a lot going for it. The cameo type shapes. It's got a giraffe. It's a whole zoo look. Not quite as high as some of the others, but it's still definitely a look. I'm going to go back to Trifari just for a second. This is just searching Trifari solds. As you can see, in general, Trifari is doing very well. It's always done well, but lately I just feel like it's really taken off. So, and these aren't all necklaces. It's just kind of showing you that why we need to be paying attention to Trifari more than we have in the past right now. I'll probably do a deep dive soon on Trifari so that we can see exactly which ones are worth the more money, because just like anything else, not all of them are worth these great money, but certain areas are, especially the patent pending, of course. As an Iowa farm girl, love that corn piece. Not sure I could swing the $2,000 price, but love the corn piece. These are just to show you the high end of, there's plenty of necklaces that you or I can go out and find. There's another J. Crew, $300, that are in our area. So just make sure you're not saying, I can't find them, I don't know where they are, because some of these regular pieces, if you can be picking up $100 to $300 pieces, you're going to do okay. And in full disclosure, I want to always show what I sold in the category we're going over. This is my last 90 days of necklace sales, and for me personally, and I don't have a lot of the higher end pieces. I'm definitely a bread and butter type seller. I'd like to get in some of the little bit higher pieces, but my top sellers were this Marcel Boucher necklace. It sold for $355. I did put it on auction, and it was a nice piece. It was not in perfect condition, which I did disclose. It's missing a rhinestone there, a couple of them. I just disclosed the issues with it, and it still brought what for me is a very good price. See if they'll let me go back there. I do sell a lot of necklaces. I sell mostly vintage, but not all vintage. necklaces. There's another Western Germany. It was $84 for me. So just like we talked about, Western Germany's doing well. I had a Venetian beaded art glass for 90. There's a Trifari Alfred Felipe, $79.99. It was in pretty poor condition. That's why it says read. So I was happy with that price just because of the condition. Had a Vendome set, which that one was missing a lot of rhinestones. So I was happy with that. And an Arthur Pepper Greek mythology one was 48. So we're seeing some solid necklace prices. I think you need to just list is my philosophy. Get your items up there. If they're sitting in a box, you can't sell them. Thank you so much for joining me. I think next time maybe we'll look at brooches. Everybody loves a good brooch. So let's shoot for next week. We'll meet up with some brooches. I'm also going to try to put out some more educational information with jewelry in general, throw out those kind of videos. I would love to look at doing a live sometime with a bunch of jewelry people, or so that we can be live chat, maybe have some interviews. I just think that would be really cool. So send me some information if you're interested in that, or if you'd like to learn more about that. Thank you so much.